I'm here in Houston, Texas. I was with my family yesterday celebrating my sister, but I grew up watching the Comets and the Rockets. And obviously, I think our glory days were your championship years.
Yeah.
So in the bubble, with the play, I'm just wondering, what is the ceiling? What do you think is the ceiling for this Rockets team, this new iteration, with James Harden finally fresh and also Russell Westbrook, who's sort of gotten the keys, another set of keys. What do you think the ceiling is for the squad?
Well, they're going to fit right in because, this is a new season. Anybody who thinks this is the season that is continue, I think is kind of looking at it differently. Because I think all of us know as a player, when I had 3 to 4 months off as a rookie the second year, I had an understanding of the league that I didn't have before. And now I have a scouting report. Oh, John Stockton likes to go right and left. Blah, blah, blah. I went from 12 points a game to 17. They've had the same amount of John Morant. He had the same amount of time off that he would have going into his second season. He's a second-year guy coming in here now. So it's a different environment. The Rockets, they play that penetrate pitch ball. They don't have to have continuity. It's just the same way you always play. So they have a clear advantage. I would say the Rockets, if they had Clint Capella, I would say they can win it all.
Ooh, wow. Well, they don't have Clint Capella. They are microball right now. You know that. I want to switch gears.
Still paying Kenny, huh?
Oh, damn.
No, think about this, Paul. Like, LeBron's teams, traditionally, when they come back or when they start a season over his long career, they ascend. They just get better and better and better.
Right.
He doesn't normally start out like 17-0. That's those young teams, Denver's and Portland. Denver's, Boston, Milwaukee. They train differently, young guys. Did you train the same way your first couple of years that you trained your last?
Let's not get into Paul's training in his last year, okay?
No, definitely not.
All right, I'm just checking.
Oh, my goodness.
Kenny, I want to ask you.
But they are still paying me.
I want to ask, they are still paying you. Aha. Well, I want to ask you about you, right? And about teams in front offices. Look, we're having the conversation we should have been having earlier and earlier about putting more African Americans in key front office positions. I know that despite your incredible success as a broadcaster for 20 years, you have been interested in going into a front office. In fact, you recently told Front Office Sports it is, quote, inevitable that you'll eventually move on from broadcasting. Where is that for you? Do you think it's something you'd want to do in the next year or two? Do you feel like those opportunities are going to be there for you?
I think they should, and they would. Our panel right here, of course. Like, why? I never understood why sports. You could do something for 20 years, 15 years, and then when you're out of it, you're not the top consultant.
Right.
You're like, oh no, Paul, start in the film room. Like,
right.
What do you mean? The information that you have as a basketball player, is valuable.
Yes.
You understand players, you understand agents, you understand runners, you understand AAU, you understand the whole process because you not only been it, you lived it. So sports is the only thing where they try to fool you and say your value doesn't count. Like, now there are things that every NBA team over my 20 years at Turner have told me that they've told no one else. I have information no one else had. Paul has information that no one else had. So Paul Pierce could run a team. He can learn the analytical part of it, but they could never learn the information that he has. That's where it is. And what we always say, and Chiney, is like, I'm not saying that every team should have a black general manager or owner, but it shouldn't be disproportionate. It shouldn't be like the jail system, a disproportionate rate of people in jail. Like, it should be proportionate in terms of NBA executives, coaches, to what it is to the players. If there's a disproportionate rate of players, why isn't it in the same way people who run front offices? The NBA champion, Masai Ujiri, African-American NBA champion, They have the current NBA champions. It's not the Elton Brand. The Philadelphia 76ers are now turning the corner. The valuable, if I could pick Paul Pierce's brain and Chiney's brain and put that in certain executives, they would win championships all the time.
Or at least be in position, at least. Not
No
set
question.
back 10 years. Jet, all right, look, there's a lot of people in the streets to this day, and I know you get this all the time. If MJ didn't retire, I don't know if you'd be sitting on them 2 rings, player. I don't know. I tell Sam this all the time when we argue. I tell Sam Cassell this.
I'm gonna tell you this. First of all,
would you want to match up with that squad?
Hey, Paul, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it. Michael Jordan is the best basketball player I've ever seen in my life. He's the GOAT. He is the best basketball player, bar none. But those 2 years we won, he did not have the best teams. He wouldn't have had the best team. And regular season is different, but we were 3-1 against his first. When they were first 3, when they won their first 3, we were 6-1 against them in the regular season. All right, it's regular season. You say Michael's different than a player. 6-1, right? No, this is not Smith versus Jordan.
Playoffs
it's not
is different, though.
That's Rockets. No, but I'm just saying now the difference. What I really feel, Paul, is the years that they didn't win. He didn't have the best. He wouldn't have had the best team because Horace Grant was in Orlando,
right,
and Dennis Rodman was in San Antonio. They would have been too small.
Yes,
that's why they couldn't beat Orlando. It wasn't because he came back in 17 points, 17 games. He was getting 55. It was they were too small. Right. We swept that team.
Yeah.
The team they lost, we swept. Now, if they had Dennis Rodman.
Speak on it, Kenny.
Horace Grant. I'm like, I'm gonna lay my head down. I'm like, no, I wouldn't be sitting here. No. But without those 2 guys, with a key.
But you know what? Dream was on a different level, too. Dream was on a different level.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.